Douglas Luiz selling price revealed to every team that really wants to obviously sign him. You know, there is a list of teams that are going to hate to show interest in signing Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa, and the asking price from Aston Villa has been named. And now your team should be ready and prepared to spend that amount of money. All else, they should back off this Brazilian international that's going to hate to obviously excite very many teams in the world club football. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. This is the football news show. I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And guys, hope you're really having a fantastic evening, and we are here to discuss loads and loads and loads of stories. There is even a story concerning the injury of Jeremy Doku, an update about him. And lastly, Cole Palmer, you know him very well. Cole Palmer playing for Chelsea has something to say about his Chelsea side. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum, and let's get into the commencing mode. Now, today, the football transfers have gone ahead to reveal to us that Aston Villa have put a £110 million price tag onto Douglas Luiz to stave off interest from other Premier League teams. That's the story we are getting in from the football transfers. And Douglas Luiz is one of those players that is wanted by Arsenal, Liverpool, and very many others. But Aston Villa are really wanting to do the same thing they did with Jack Grealish. When they were obviously playing with when they're obviously having a very good go at Jack Grealish, and they wanted him to stay and not sell him, because all I want to let you know is that this side of the side of Aston Villa is not starving from money. They're having money. They're having money, and look at the signings they're really making. They're making huge money signings. So they're having owners that are really rich. And if at all you want to go on and really gate a player from their side, you need to break the bank, especially if a player who went ahead to obviously put in a very good shift. And I told you that they're having three players who are really performing at top-notch level that might see them really gate £300 million from these three players from between January 2024 to the summer transfer window that will close up in September 2024, because Douglas Luiz alone is costing 110. There is Moussa Diaby, who will also be valued £100 million. The same applies to Oli Watkins. He can also be valued that amount of money, and I believe teams will be willing to obviously cough that amount of money, because these players have gone ahead to prove a point at Aston Villa that they can come in through and obviously put in a shift. Now let's talk a little bit about Douglas Luiz. You know, this season is all about Douglas Luiz. If at all you followed him at Aston Villa, he's scoring goals for fun, putting in assists, and trust me, he's a player that is wanted everywhere. Now, £110 million. Is he worth this amount of money? I'll tell you, yes, he is. Even £120 million is worth it, because Moise Caicedo just went ahead to have one good season at Brighton, and it costed £115 million from Brighton to Chelsea. You know, Declan Rice had 2 good seasons at West Ham, and he was sold for £105 million from West Ham to Arsenal. You understand? So, for a player who is talented as Douglas Luiz, and he has lots of numbers onto his tally, why can't he really go into that price tag? Because in the game of football, the moment you're really having a player who scores very many goals, it is evident and known all over the world that that player will obviously cost you a lot of money because of the goals that person really scores. And let me put this up to speed or bring it in your face. Douglas Luiz is more talented than Declan Rice and Moise Caicedo, and everything they do in their attributes that make them special players to move to Chelsea and Arsenal respectively, Douglas Luiz does them too, and he's a better player than all of those. I tell you, if a team like Arsenal can get Douglas Luiz, and they partner him alongside Declan Rice, then the rest will be history. The trophy will be done, because they would have gone ahead to obviously add another physical body to their midfield that can obviously shield the back four, win tackles, go ahead and really score goals, and also do the needful when it comes to set pieces. That is the lad known as Douglas Luiz for you, and that is what he brings in at the side of Arsenal. So one will ask, can Arsenal spend £110 million during the January transfer window? I'll tell you that in this year that is left with just 25 days to come to an end, it was around January when Arsenal made a bid of £86 million to sign Mikhailo Modric, a player who was not proven at the world level. He wasn't a finished article. He was a raw diamond that needed to be polished to be turned into a very good player. That is it. But a team of Chelsea went ahead to pay that amount of money, meaning that Arsenal had gone ahead to go in and really charged for that player. After that, Arsenal went ahead to go for Moise Caicedo. They made a bid of up to £80 million, and Brighton said, no, we are not selling this player. So Arsenal can sign a player in January of £110 million because they were not in the Champions League and they signed that player. Sorry, they had intent to sign players of worth 80, 90 million pounds. Now, in this scenario when they're in the Champions League, they're obviously in a better position to pay that amount of money. They're in that position to pay that amount of money. And trust me, it's a matter of Arsenal saying that we need that player, because they know if you add Douglas Luiz to the team, the trophy is done and dusted. They'd have gone ahead to build a juggernaut in that midfield that no one can stop. If he comes in at Arsenal, he becomes a colossal force. And by the way, Douglas Luiz might be a player that is going to really spark off a team to win the league, because even Liverpool is interested in signing him. And for Liverpool, they stand a better position because they are still having £100 million, out of the 115 they had gone ahead to pledge to Brighton to sign, what's the name of the guy? To sign Moise Caicedo, and Moise Caicedo denied that deal and went to Chelsea. So Liverpool is having that money, and you know how they do their business. Towards the end of this year, they might really table that amount of money on the table. They can table it there. So Arsenal has to be ready alert to see to it that they obviously have their money with them to obviously sign Douglas Luiz, but an asking price of £115 million have been set by the side of Aston Villa to obviously sign or to sell Douglas Luiz. And to me, if I told you Aston Villa, for a player that you never really went ahead to buy in for a lot of money, if you get £110 million from him, then that will be great. And by the way, that will be good business done by Aston Villa, because remember, Arsenal was going in for him in the summer of 2022. In the last 3 days of the summer transfer window, Arsenal were going in for the player, but Aston Villa rejected that his player is not for sale, and he was left with just 1 year on his contract, and Arsenal was willing to buy him at £20 million. In the January of 2023, Douglas Luiz penned a new contract of 4 years, and has gone ahead to put in a very good performance and see how much they are making from the £20 million that Arsenal are willing to offer, and now they're supposed to pay £90 million more for a player. So it shows you that each and every time you put in a shift, you obviously get yourself to where you deserve to be as a team in there for you. So that is Douglas Luiz for you. I think you're going to hate obviously get everything detailed, and tomorrow I'm going to bring you a story of Douglas Luiz and what he says about Manchester City and why he left the club of Manchester City and had to really go elsewhere. So after that, let's go to Jeremy Doku. And we've been told by Sports Witness that Jeremy Doku's current injury is not serious, but Man City are not willing to take any risk to the player moving forward. Man City believe that prevention is better than cure. Now, for Jeremy Doku, he's one of those players that have gone ahead to hit the Premier League by storm. Let's all admit, and his stats really exonerate him. He has gone ahead to put in a shift left and center that has gone ahead to make him one of the most important players for the club of Manchester City. He has gone ahead to bench Jack Grealish, and he is the first choice left attacking midfielder for the side of Manchester City. So he's injured and is out of the game today. That Man City is going to play against Aston Villa, but all in all, they don't want to risk him because he's going to have to prove to be one of the most important players on the field of play for the side of Man City. And for Man City, they are really having injuries, though players are really returning at a very faster rate, because today John Stones has gone ahead to make it to the starting 11 of Manchester City as they play away at Aston Villa. So they don't want to risk the player, and they want to obviously keep him fit for the coming games. Obviously, the Kevin De Bruyne included the squad of Man City that is going to play in the World FIFA Cup in December. It obviously comes to understanding that he's also on the way back. So Jeremy Doku is really injured, but the injury is not yet serious. According to the side of Manchester City, all they want is to put in the required precaution and see to it that this injury doesn't go from bad to worse. So that is it coming in from Jeremy Doku. But today Man City is taking on Aston Villa, and trust me, if they win this game of football, a huge celebration will be made by the side of Man City, because they don't have Rodri, they don't have Jeremy Doku, they don't have Kevin De Bruyne, and they don't have Jack Grealish. So that is Manchester City for you. And lastly, let's talk about Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is in the squad of Chelsea that is going to face Man United today. He's playing as a central attacking midfielder, and he has gone ahead to speak to the Chelsea TV on playing against Manchester United. He says, "I'm relishing the game. I've never played at Old Trafford, so hopefully I play and score a few goals. I've got a few friends who will be there who are United fans. They will be in the United end. Then my other teammates, then my other mates will be in the Chelsea end, and few of my family are City fans, and few are United. It will be interesting." So he has gone ahead to come in through and really start, and we wait and see how it's going to pan out tonight as Man United takes on Chelsea at the Old Trafford Stadium. So the game is starting anytime from now, and when it's done, I'm also going to go ahead and do the match reaction onto the Manchester United on the United Matters channel, and also come in here and really put in the desired shift. So guys, your thoughts on to Douglas Luiz asking price being revealed are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Jeremy Doku precaution, not his injury getting from bad to worse, and Cole Palmer? May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. Bye bye. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. Bye bye.